boys and girls, and welcome to the player ratings for Arsenal's boring 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. Now, as you can tell, this replaces today's DT's Daily because there's not really a lot to be talking about in the world of football at the moment, and I don't want to continually speak about Arsenal and the Crystal Palace game. I've already done that, not just on here but AFTV. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to put the player ratings there instead. Usual time, so you get your usual video. But something a little bit different for today. Now, where on earth do I start with that one? I honestly don't know. Still, I don't know where to start with it. A bit of a surprise before kickoff when we found out that Tierney was not playing. Pablo Mari, that was a bit of a surprise in the sense that he had, an injury, but I thought, he may well have come out anyway. But Tierney, that was the big one, the big shock. And I'll tell you something, if you didn't realise just how important Kieran Tierney is to our team, then you do now. And what's even worse was what Mikel Arteta had said afterwards. And I'm really, really hoping that what he said is just, a precaution, and it's going to be like the Martinelli situation, because Mikel Arteta was speaking after the Newcastle game regarding Martinelli, and he said it doesn't look good. Martinelli's now back in training. But what he said, for all of you that don't actually know or haven't seen it, is that Tierney is going to go for an MRI scan today. Now, we were told before the game that it was a precaution and it was muscle fatigue. I've never ever known anybody to go for an MRI scan for muscle fatigue. That's the worrying bit, because if he's injured and he's out long term, then we are absolutely screwed. I don't know who you could possibly go and get in the market that could, do the same job that Tierney does. But then you've got to remember that person would have to be accepting, playing second behind Tierney when he returns. It's just one thing after another with us, isn't it? But yeah, it wasn't great at all. So I'm going to go and get into the player ratings, because I'll end up sitting here all day talking about what's right and wrong. Starting off in goal, Leno. He made an exceptional save in the first half. Absolutely exceptional. And I want people to stop talking and disrespecting this guy now. And the comparisons with Martinez and everything. We've got a world-class goalkeeper on our hands. Actually respect him, because some of the things that I'd seen about this guy over the last few months, some of you don't deserve him. But for that save alone, he gets an 8, because that was unreal. Second half, he could have pulled up a chair and had a cup of tea. Didn't have to do anything. Go into the defence. First of all, on the right hand side, Hector Bellerin. Absolutely shocking. The guy just can't cross a ball. His attack is just so flat. It's so boring. It's so one-dimensional. It's backwards all the time. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. 2. Centre-backs. First of all, Rob Holding. I felt that he dealt with Wilfried Zaha and his theatrics very well. And I thought it was a decent enough performance all round. So I'll give him a 7. Next to him, David Luiz. Bit of a surprise that he started ahead of Gabriel if Mari wasn't playing. But I don't think he done too bad a job as well. I don't think they had loads to do. But yeah, it was a standard performance. I'd say the same as Rob Holding, to be honest, the 7. Left back, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen in the first half. That was dreadful. The back passes, the normal passes, the crosses, just absolutely everything from Maitland-Niles was shambolic. Poor. And I think you see now why Mikel Arteta don't play him. Because that was just so bad. 0. And I can't say no more than that. If that was a Willian or someone like that that put that kind of performance in, my word, 0. Moving to centre midfield. First of all, Granit Xhaka. I think he was our man of the match, to be honest with you. 11 ball recoveries. I thought he was all over the pitch. Winning last-ditch tackles. A couple of moments where he was a bit sloppy. But overall, by far, our best player on the pitch. And if you didn't see that, then you definitely have an agenda against him. Because even though I've made my thoughts and my feelings clear in recent weeks, I can still praise players when they play well. And he played really well. He gets an 8 as well, the same as Leno, but he gets the man of the match for me. Danny Tobias, I thought that he had a really good first half. I felt some of his passing was really good. And in the second half, he just disappeared. He just faded completely. I don't know where the hell he went or what he was doing. He gets a 6 for me. Attacking 3, starting off with Bukayo Saka. And I felt it was a quiet game for him. Crystal Palace knew that he was one of the dangers in the team. And they snuffed him out. Unfortunate that he had to go and cover at left back, and that may well be his position if Tierney is injured. Needs must, I'm afraid, and I think that he would probably go there. It's better than having Ainsley Maitland-Niles there, that's for sure. Very ineffective, but I'll give him a 6 for his performance. Emil Smith-Rowe, kind of the same as Saka, to be honest with you. I felt that Crystal Palace knew that he was a danger and they nullified him. And they stopped the ball getting to him. And it meant that he was very ineffective. Work rate was good. Just the creativity was not there. But I'll give him a 6 as well. Next up, we have Aubameyang. And that was a poor performance. The fact that every time he got the ball, it was going backwards. He just didn't look interested. And just not good. I don't know whether it might have something to do with Maitland-Niles behind him and he wasn't able to work in the same way that he would with a Tierney. But just not good enough from the captain of the club. And I'll give him a 3 for that performance. Alexandre Lacazette. I felt he had a thankless task, to be honest with you. Playing up front with no service at all. So difficult. Work rate's good, but just no service. I can't give him more than a 6, to be honest with you, as there wasn't really a lot in there for him to do. In terms of the subs, Nicola Pepe got the longest and just not seeing enough. You know what's there. You know there's talent there. It's just not working. It's just not happening. It's poor. It's so poor, and he looks scared at times. To be honest with you, is the best way of speaking about it. And I honestly don't know. I really don't. I thought it was really poor. He gets a 4 for me. Not good enough. Thomas Partey, the one positive that you can take from the game. Looked bright in the 20 minutes that he played. Clearly over his injury now. But the way that he, breaks up play, tries to make the driving runs and everything else, it's difficult, when you come on in a game like that and 20 minutes to go and trying to get up to speed of things. But I thought that was a decent enough 20 minutes, and he starts from now for me all day, absolutely all day long. I'll give him a 6 for that. Eddie Nketiah wasn't on there long enough, to be honest with you, so I'm not going to mark him. Manager's rating, probably down the middle of 5. I don't think he had much choice with the starting lineup. The only one you can probably look at was Gabriel, starting at left centre back ahead of Louise. I've seen some people moaning and saying it was the wrong team selection. Who the hell do you think he was going to put at left back when Tierney wasn't playing? If he would have moved Saka to left back from the beginning, everyone would have been moaning that he moved Saka from the right side when he's been so good, and why did he not start Ainsley Maitland-Niles? So he did what everyone thought and wanted him to do, but then they question it and say it's the wrong thing to do when it doesn't work out. Yeah, that old one. But yeah, I'd say a 5. Starting lineup for me, there was nothing wrong with it. In all honesty, nothing wrong with it in any way, shape or form. It was what was expected for what was available, and it didn't work out. So I give Mikel Arteta a 5. So there we go. That is it for my player ratings. I've had a chance to kind of sit back and think since last night. And I think that's a fair reflection of my thoughts right now on the game as a whole. But as usual, let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree or disagree? If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.